Hello and welcome to another lecture of the course Aquaculture. In continuation to my um, talk on the major topic, agencies involved in promoting academics, research, and entrepreneurship opportunities in aquaculture. Today, I am going to talk on academic and research institutions under ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, which comes, I think, under Ministry of Agriculture, New Delhi. Under ICAR, we are having 8 national institutes. One of these institutes, Central Institute of Fisheries Education Mumbai, CIFA Mumbai, has the status of deemed university. That means it can award degrees. Other institutes include Central Inland Fisheries Research Institute, CIFRI, Barrackpore. Then I'm having one more CIBA, Central Institute of Brackish Water Aquaculture, that is in Chennai. Then we are having Central Institute of Fisheries Technology in Cochin. Then we are having Central Institute of Freshwater Aquaculture in Bhubaneswar. And then Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, CMFRI in Kochi. One directorate is there, Directorate of Cold Water Fisheries Research, DCFR, which is in Bhimtal in Uttarakhand. Then we have one bureau, National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, that is located in Lucknow. One by one, we can discuss these institutes, what is their role and how they are functioning. The first one is Central Institute of Fisheries Education, Mumbai. As the name indicates, its main mandate is to conduct postgraduate academic programs in the major areas of core areas of fishery science and aquaculture. To conduct basic strategies of research, of course, in the frontier areas, in the cutting edge areas of science in related to fisheries and aquaculture. Then to conduct demand driven training and educational programs to different stakeholders, of course, students, researchers, entrepreneurs, to provide technical support, inputs for policy development and consultancy. That is the mandate of almost every national institute. Then human resource development, capacity building programs, skill development programs, all this they carry out. Now, since this is degree awarding institution, they offer many courses and very popular courses, but you get admission here at a very in a very competitive manner. PG and PhD courses being offered in different divisions. These are the different divisions in CIFE: Aquaculture Division, Fisheries, Resources, Harvest and Post-Harvest Division, then Aquatic Environment and Health Management Division, Fish Nutrition, Biochemistry and Physiology Division. Then we are having Fish Genetics and Biotechnology Division, Fisheries Economics, Extension and Statistics Division. In each division, they offer usually multiple courses. For example, in Fisheries Resources, Harvest and Post-Harvest Division, they offer MFSC in FRM, Fisheries Resources Management, and they also offer MFSC Fish Processing Technology. Then we are also having, for example, Fish Nutrition, Biochemistry and Physiology Division. Here they offer MFSC in Fish Nutrition and Feed Technology, as well as MFSC in Biochemistry and Physiology. And when I'm telling you all this, that they offer programs in these courses, PhD courses are also being run in the respective specialized divisions. And again, for having a look on what kind of courses, what duration, what is the course curriculum and every other thing, you can please visit the website and you will get to know the detailed information about all these divisions. I have just taken a snapshot of a screenshot of this training programs which are being offered at CIFA. That every year these institutes, they release their training calendar. If you just go through the training calendar of 24-25, year 24, the recent calendar, here you see that the screenshot I have taken is from serial number 19. Earlier, I have skipped because that was not coming into the screenshot. but just to show that there are more than 24, and earlier 19 have been left. So there are many kind of training programs which are being run for farmers, students, entrepreneurs, for everybody. Farmers, students, entrepreneurs, researchers, for every stakeholders, they are having one or the other program, and they are very good programs, very informative programs. Um, I have also been an alumnus of CIFE. I've seen that they have excellent programs, and you can go through the training calendar of these institutes. If you feel that any of these programs are of interest to you, you will be getting very good guidance and support from the web page itself. There it will be written whom to contact, where to contact, how to go for the training programs. These are some of the regional centers. Knowingly I'm showing this because these national institutes are not having the offices, lab facilities, and other training facilities only at the headquarter. No, they are having their headquarter at Mumbai, CIFE, but they are having many regional centers. One in Kolkata, West Bengal, Kakinada in Andhra Pradesh, Rohtak in Haryana, Pawarkheda in Madhya Pradesh, then Motipur in Bihar. So they are having many regional centers also, where also they conduct their research programs, they conduct training programs, and you can have the advantage of wherever you are located, wherever you are living, you can search nearby training centers and take the benefit. Now, the next institute, Central Institute of Brackish Water Aquaculture, CIBA, as the name indicates, it will deal mainly with aquaculture activities of brackish water resources. Here you will see basic, strategic and applied research for techno-economically viable and sustainable culture system. Nowadays, people are talking about eco-friendly or economically viable and sustainable aquaculture system. That is very necessary for finfish and shellfish in brackish water. Species and systems diversification in brackish water aquaculture. Again, the diversification of species, identification of new candidate species is very important. And if you can recall from my previous lectures, I told you about that aquaculture production, although growing in number, but it is showing a declining trend in percentage growth. So we will have to talk about eco-friendly economic viability and sustainability of the aquaculture system. And diversification of species is very important, because after a certain period of time, if we are not able to take care of many of the factors that we have already discussed regarding the species diversity and genetic diversity and other things, then after certain period of time, that candidate species which you are growing for long time, for a decade or more than a decade, that starts showing stagnation of growth, species growth that you are culturing, and maybe you are not getting that good growth rate, your fish becomes more prone to diseases and so on. So we need to diversify the species. If one species is not responding, for example, Indian major carps were very popular for polyculture or semi-intensive aquaculture throughout India, but nowadays this Pangasius is being farmed in many parts, and we are getting very good production. So we should diversify, act as a repository of information of brackish water fishes, of course, since this is Institute of Brackish Water Aquaculture, so it will have to maintain a database and of the resources of brackish water. Then, of course, as I told you, that human resource development, capacity building, training program and other things, extension activities is the mandate of most of the almost all of the national institutes. I have shown here the training program of CIBA, just to let you understand that every national institute, almost all the institutes of the government in fisheries and aquaculture sector have such kind of programs where the stakeholders can get direct benefit by attending their programs, by visiting the place, or there are many things to explore if you visit the website. Here, for example, There are training programs on nutrition feed formulation and management for brackish water shellfishes and finfishes. This is in October only, 21/10/24 to 26/24. And there are many other training programs you can go through here. And one is, I'm showing you here the bacteriological techniques for detection of pathogenic bacteria in brackish water shrimp farming. That is in 2025. So you will get training programs for sometimes it is given session wise 24/25, or sometimes it is given on a yearly basis 24. It will be separate training program calendar, 25 it will be separate training program calendar. That depends on how one particular institute likes to display the training programs. But you can visit and you can have the details and get benefit from those training programs. Again, this one very important institute, CIFA, Bhubaneswar, Central Institute of Freshwater Aquaculture, that has done marvelous job in promoting freshwater aquaculture throughout the country. And that is one of the, we can say that that is one of the premier institutes in the Asian region. Here, as their name indicates, they are mainly dealing with basic and strategic research for the development of sustainable, everywhere you will now find sustainable word, culture systems for freshwater finfish and shellfish. Species and systems diversification, of course, systems diversification also in freshwater, as you could have seen that when I was explaining you briefly about what are different type of aquaculture systems, then I told you that nowadays intensive aquaculture systems are being adopted, wherein we are going from the traditional pond aquaculture to tanks, to sometimes concrete tanks, sometimes FRP tanks, sometimes there are plastic lining tanks, recirculatory aquaculture system, and so on, aquaponics and so on. So diversification not only in species but in culture systems also. Human resource development, again the same thing, extension activities, whether training the students, whether training the fish farmers, whether training the entrepreneurs, they have the this program in almost all the national institutes. So these are very few which have been written. There are many achievements of all these institutes. Here also, prolonged and multiple breeding, as many as 4 times of Indian major calves from April to September in a year. In fact, this prolonged and multiple breeding, CIFA was also conducting, and then we also conducted one at CIFRI. I was also involved in that project. We did that multiple carp breeding project at Rohtak Center of the Central Institute of Fisheries Education, Mumbai. Then there also we were successful in preponing the maturity or advancement of maturity in case of carps. But CIFA has worked on this very extensively, and they have developed the technology of breeding the major carps multiple times in a year. Bulk cryopreservation of fish milt, then breeding and seed production of our Indian Clarius batricus and Heteropneustes fossilis. This Clarius batricus, Indian mangur, this one is very important, but nowadays in the market, if you go, sadly, we don't get more of Clarius batricus, we get only Clarius garipinus, which is an exotic fish, and which is quite damaging to our natural environment. And now, sadly, this has been clandestinely introduced into the natural waters, and that is posing a big problem. Training programs which are being conducted by CIFA, they have created one online portal for this. You can visit that website, and you will get to know that they are conducting training programs not only at the headquarters, but they are having their at their regional centers also. I told you that every institute has its own regional center. I have not given the regional centers of all these national institutes, but you can search the regional centers and training programs so you can get benefit. In West Bengal, in Andhra Pradesh, Vijayawada, then in Karnataka, Bengaluru, and then Batinda, Punjab, they are having their regional centers. You can get benefit from any of these centers. For example, here in December, they are going to have hands-on training in transcriptome analysis. That is in December. So feeds and feeding of freshwater aquaculture, again very important one in November. So likewise, you will get to see the training programs every year. It's not that this year they have conducted, next year they will not. No, they will conduct such kind of training and extension programs that you can get benefit from. Then we have CIFRI, Central Inland Fisheries Research Institute in Barrackpore. This deals with inland fisheries. That means basic, strategic, and applied research for sustainable management. Again, sustainable word is used, of inland open water resources. So here, we basically don't deal with aquaculture. We deal with inland open water resources, natural resources. Develop protocols for productivity enhancement in reservoirs, inland open water resources like reservoirs, wetlands, aquatic ecosystems, health management. They also have their in mandate. Acts as a repository of information on inland open water resources. Of course, the mapping of the resources, the status of the resources, and what could be done, to improve the conditions. Then same, the training program, the extension activity, as I told you, is one of the mandatory mandate of all the national institutes. Here also I have tried to show you the kind of training programs they are carrying. I have tried to take up the screenshot, after first page, so that you can have an idea. They are having many training programs, and whatever you are interested in, please visit the website and you will get the information on management of open water fisheries for doubling the farmers' income. This is being carried out in the Prayagraj Center of CIFRI. And then training of inland and fish taxonomy and biodiversity. Then many other things you will get to know about advances in heavy metal analysis, ICPMS, again very important one for studying aquatic pollution and all. So all these kind of training programs, you will get many more interesting training programs that you can attend. Then we are having Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, CMFRI. It deals with marine fisheries resources, monitor and assess the marine fisheries resources of the EEZ, Indian EEZ, including the impact of climate and anthropogenic activities, to map and to study, to collect the data, basic data regarding these resources, what we are having, and basic and strategic research in mariculture and enhanced production, how they can be utilized and how production can be increased. All kind of those data and research they are supposed to do. Acts as a repository of geospatial information on marine fishery resources and their habitats. In fact, they also monitor the habitats, whether the habitat is getting altered, or pollution or any other thing is altering, or overfishing, or whatever. Then consultancy services and human resource development through training and all that I told you. That is one of the mandatory programs. Thrust areas of CMFRI: captive brood stock development of marine fin fishes. In marine fin fishes, in fact, if you wish to go for induced breeding, then that becomes a problematic area, because the potential brooders you have to get from the marine areas, that is little difficult. So the captive broodstock development they do, that is one of the very important contributions and induced breeding techniques they develop. Then evolving protocols for diversified farming practices such as sea cage farming and coastal mariculture. I told you, if you recall, inland aquaculture has contributed significantly to the total production, not only in India but throughout the globe. But since aquaculture in marine areas, what we call as mariculture, that requires many kind of, there are many factors, multiple factors operating in the oceanic region. So scientific protocols or SOPs, standard operative protocols are to be developed, which an entrepreneur or any private agency can adopt. So they are doing work on that also. Demonstration of mariculture technologies and participatory farming programs. Then development of grow out feed and health management protocols on mariculture. Everything related to marine fisheries resources, the habitats, the species, and promoting the production, maybe through aquaculture. They are doing that also. So these are some of the findings. Captive broodstock development they have done for some species, broodstock development for some other species like silver pompano, and then broodstock development, induced breeding and larviculture of grouper, captive breeding and seed production of clownfishes and damsel fishes, then broodstock development and breeding in RAS system. In fact, to you it may feel that only there are lot of contributions that are there, but here only few have been written. And it's not only that if broodstock development and breeding is done, then that is not important. That is very important, because fish seeds are the first input to start aquaculture. If you are not getting good quality fish seed, pure seed, in desired number, at the desired time, then you cannot start aquaculture. For starting point is to get good quality pure seed of desired species in desired number at the desired time, then you can start. And that is one of the big problems in mariculture. So they are doing excellent job in this. Then we have CIFT, that is Central Institute of Fisheries Technology. As the name indicates here, they are basically working to improve the fishing and processing aspects, design and develop energy efficient fishing systems for responsible fishing and sustainable management, so that the fishing activity remains sustainable. Development of implements and machinery for fishing and fish processing. Whatever machinery, whatever equipments are needed, they work on improvement and developing new ones for the purpose. Then again, extension and training programs. I have not shown, the training programs what are being conducted for these institutes, because I just gave you examples by giving training program, that is screenshots of few of the institutes. Others, if you are interested, please visit the website of these institutes. You will get all the institutes are conducting training programs, and they are offering their lab services also for research and other things and consultancy. You can visit the website of these institutes, write to the director or concerned scientist. You will get your questions answered. NBFGR, National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, that is in Lucknow. Like other genetic resources that we are having, like we are having National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. We are having, I think if I remember it, then National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources also we are having. Here we are discussing for National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, that is located in Lucknow. What they do, their job is to explore, characterize and catalog the fish genetic resources of the entire country. They're doing excellent job, and their mandate is very specific, and they are mapping the resources, they are cataloging the genetic resources, and maintaining and preservation of fish genetic resources for conservation and utilization of prioritized species. They are doing cryopreservation also at quite big scale. Then evaluation of indigenous and exotic germplasm, including risk assessment and fish health. NBFGR has contributed in developing database of fish diversity of India, containing information about 2953 species. If you visit, you will get to see all these resources and many of these resources which you can download and use. So they have developed database on freshwater fishes of Northeast and Western Ghats, fish diversity checks for 80 states and 3 ecosystems. You know that Western Ghats, Gulf of Mannar and Vembanad Lake. We developed 4 online databases: fish barcode information system, that is fish karyome, where they talk about fish karyotype. Fish and shellfish microsatellite database. Again, you can, if you are into this subject, then you must be knowing that what is microsatellite database can help you out. And fish mitogenome resource also. So, excellent contribution in terms of these databases. Then discovered 43 new species during explorations of ecologically diverse habitats in India during last 10 years in collaboration with partner organizations. Um, Developed genomic resources including expressed sequence tag ESTs, what we call, and gene associated markers in Indian catfish, Clarius margaritis, Clarius metricus, and Tenvalo silisha, that is also sometimes known as Hilsa elisha. The older name was Hilsa elisha, the Hilsa fish that we get in Bengal and Bangladesh. Then we have one directorate, as we saw in the earlier list, in Bhimtal, Uttarakhand. Mandate of Directorate of Cold Water Fisheries Research, as the name indicates, again, this deals with cold water fisheries. So, applied research in cold water fisheries and aquaculture. Both fisheries and aquaculture aspects are being dealt with this important institute. Directorate of Cold Water Fisheries Research act as a repository of stream resources. Then human resource development, as I told you, that training and extension programs are being carried out by all these institutes. Training programs, some of the training programs are given here: seed production and hatchery management of golden mahseer, a very prized and important fish that they are working on. Cold water fish nutrition, culture and breeding of indigenous cold water fishes, entrepreneurship through aquaponics, advances in breeding and seed production of rainbow trout, hands-on training on breeding and seed production of ornamental fishes. They have very good collection of ornamental fishes, and their work on breeding and seed production of ornamental fishes has resulted in a very good setup that you can see if you visit Bhimtal. That's all in this lecture. Thank you so much.